Hi there! Last week's episode ended with Naoya, Yuta, Choso, and Yuji in the same place. And two of them have to kill Yuji. Let's find out what happens next. Here we go. Yuta bared his blade. Yuji doesn't know who he is. Choso realizes that this guy also came for Itadori. Yuta jumped. When he lands, he shatters the curb, showing his strength. The guys are shocked by this. Yuta wonders who the guys with Itadori are. Naoya guesses that Yuta is Yuji's executioner. Naoya immediately notifies him that he's on his side. He even knows his name. Yuji hears Yuta's name and immediately remembers that Fushiguro mentioned him. He's a shaman of special rank, just like Gojo-sensei. Naoya introduces himself, says he's Maki's cousin. He's not going to get in Yuta's way. Choso whispers for Yuji to run away. The blonde specializes in speed, but there's a catch. Playing catch-up could go sideways, so he'll take him on. Yuji's worried about him. Choso is calm. He's more worried about Yuji. He asks him to run away from Okotsu Yuta. He has similar strength as Gojo. If he fights him, he will die. But for Choso, it's going to be hard to pull this off. At that moment, Naoya makes a deal with Yuta. He asks him to hold off on reporting to his superiors after he kills Yuji, as a decoy for someone he'd like to meet, meaning Megumi. He doesn't want to mention Fushiguro as he senses Yuta's power. Choso and Yuji agree to meet where they met yesterday. Yuta accepts Naoya's request, leaving the rest to him. And it began. It looked like a well-rehearsed scene. Naoya stops Choso's attack. Yuta chases after Yuji. Yuji is stunned by Yuta's speed, since he's also carrying a katana. Yuta is also surprised that Itadori is fast. He was hoping to finish him off quickly. Choso realizes he's been outsmarted. He was going to block Okotsu's path. Immediately, he instantly gets an instant kick from Naoi. He's seen it before and guesses it was blood manipulation. He doesn't know where he got it from. But other than the blood spear, there's nothing frightening about it. To use the blood spear, he needs compression, which requires recharging. He doesn't need to finish it for Choso to understand. Checkmate. He's going to die now. But Choso isn't going to give up that easily. He's going to show him after he tried to hurt his little brother. Itadori runs and sees an obstacle in the form of an overturned car. He jumps over it, but Yuta reads his movements and he finds himself already behind the car. Yuji reacts quickly and immediately grabs the stop and jumps back as Yuta swings. Yuta was sure he'd hurt him, and his movements are reminiscent of Maki. Yuji finds himself on the other side of the car, hitting her to push Yuta farther away. Yuji figures he can't get away from him while they're out in the open, so he'll take advantage of the moment and rush inside the building, but that's not the case. He senses a car coming at him from behind. He dodges. Yuta doesn't look like someone who specializes in strength. Yuji realizes that even though he doesn't have much strength, he has a gigantic amount of damn energy, as Yuta himself confirms. He makes up for his lack of strength with cursed energy. Everyone does it, but when he does it, it's different. Yuji recognizes that Yuta is the exact opposite of him. Yuta realized that Yuji has already noticed that his cursed energy is even more than Gojo-sensei's. However, Sensei has 6 eyes, so the energy he loses when he activates a technique is infinitely tending to 0. Of course, Sensei is the best, because in the end, Yuta might exhaust his reserves of cursed energy, and he won't. End of story. And a lightning attack is launched, Yuji dodging hard. He recalls his brother's words, the higher the rank of a shaman, the harder it is to read his cursed energy flow, but for a different reason than Yuji's. High-ranked fighters have better control over the cursed energy, making it harder to anticipate an attack. But for Yuji, Yuta, his entire body, including his katana, is oozing with cursed energy. The problem is not reading his movements. His every attack can be deadly, and he can negate all his damage. He's remembering his brother's words, and he can't just die. The battle continues. Yuji can only dodge his swings. He realizes something must be done with his katana. As long as he can't strengthen his body with cursed energy, he's fine with swords. But that's not the case with Yuta, who's going to get the best of Yuji in a heartbeat. Yuji runs away and jumps into the car. He gets out of the car. Yuta threw a punch, but Yuji was able to deflect it. He had a knife in his hand. He realizes that he got it when he jumped into the car, but it's not a cursed object, so he has nothing to fear. Yuji is now attacking Yuta. Yuji wants to shorten the distance. He fills the knife with cursed energy. Depending on the type, Gojo advised him to pay attention to weapon types during training, but you shouldn't rely on cursed items by neglecting to control cursed energy. So Yuji hasn't grown to that yet. It's for emergencies only. Yuta attacks him in response. Yuji realizes he hasn't learned the technique yet, so Yuta says he's too fixated on his katana and kicks him in the stomach. Yuji took this kick hard. His usual leg kick is just incredibly powerful. Yuta attacks again. He breaks Yuji's knife and stabs him in the front. But that's not the end of it. Yuji jammed the blade with his foot against the concrete and kicked with all his strength, thus breaking that blade. Yuta stepped back. He examined the sword, not really surprised since he was Gojo Sensei's student. Simple methods would not do here. Yuji launches a counterattack, since they are both unarmed now, but something's wrong. The huge beast that is Shikigami grabs him. He is frozen with fear. Yuta asks Riku to calm down. Yuji doesn't understand where Shikigami came from. He can't move. It's too strong. Yuta asks him not to let go. She plunges the blade right into his heart, which leads to his death. Yuta apologizes to the Itadori. Sukuna, sensing something wrong, but after a moment, he smiles. We go back to Choso. They're in the tunnel. Naoi crowds him, turning him into a shot, thanks to which he misses a punch. He can't keep up with him. He doesn't realize what technique he's using. He's so outmatched that he's unlikely to reveal his secret. He no longer prepares a compression. Now he is not even able to control the blood outside his body. Now he praises him, saying he is a tough kid. He wondered who he was. Choso introduces himself as the eldest of the 10 siblings and uses the red scale flow technique, piling up. Yes, the battle is in full swing. You can tell from Sukuna's smile that Itadori is hardly dead. Something's going to happen. Naoi uses the same technique as Naobito. I wonder if everyone from the Zenin clan uses this technique. Toji was supposed to be the one who didn't have access to the 24-frame technique. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Leave in the comments what you think about the episode. That was Vision Manga. See you soon.